Good morning and welcome to Real Estate Radio with Kelly Warren and Associates, where we come right here to talk to you about real estate right in the Mahoning Valley. I'm Kelly Warren and I'm in the studio as always with my co-host, Handsome Jim.
Good morning. I think you should have a sign-on name.
I'm just Kelly. I'm Kelly Sold It.
I think you should be the beautiful Kelly Warren.
Nah.
Too busy. I got stuff going on.
It's too long.
Okay, kellysoldit.com.
Thank you. I will answer to that. On the streets, people come up to me and say, "Are you Kelly Sold It?" And I say, yes, I am.
Wasn't it that Jess's baby used to call you Kelly Sold It?
Yeah, Jess's daughter says Kelly Sold It.
That's awesome. So funny.
So tell us about your week, Jim.
No.
One
It was
of
crazy.
our children
It was crazy.
showed up at home with an unapproved additional mouth to feed.
Whoa. You got to clarify that
I
because
know,
that could go.
I wanted it to be big.
It could go everywhere.
So we told our oldest not to bring home a dog, and what do you think you did, folks?
Brought home a puppy.
Yeah. So there's a new dog keeping Jim awake at night. It's great.
No, sir. Nothing keeps me awake.
It's true. You sleep like a log.
I know. It's awesome.
All right.
It's keeping him awake.
Yeah.
His sleep
Good for him.
schedule's all out of whack now, which is hilarious to me.
So, Jim, how's the market?
I mean, it's doing good. How are you?
That's my favorite question. And I
How's
think,
the market?
yeah.
That's a good question.
Yeah, Lauren Ludwig and I were talking about that the other day on the Valley Spotlight show. How's the market? I think that I get asked that question more than any other question ever. Like, if I'm in the grocery store, if I'm out to dinner, if I'm with a client, friends, family members, clients, coworkers, everybody says, like, how's the market? How's the market? And it's my favorite question to get asked.
Why do you think everybody asks you that question?
Because I'm the market expert.
No, I mean...
Because people like to talk about real estate.
Okay. I guess that makes sense, but I kind of think it's kind of because, everything that happened a decade ago, now people are like...
I feel like people asked it before then.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like it's something that people always want to know when, it is a topic of conversation, and the real estate market and its healthiness impact so many other economic issues. So, it's just something that people want to know and are curious about and like to have their hand in. So
I know that new build homes are up.
Yes, they are
so
up.
That's good.
Yeah.
I know that the listing inventory is low right now.
Right.
This time of year it always gets lower.
So let's talk about that. So actually, I'd say that right now we're in a very healthy, good market, especially for January in Ohio.
Oh, yeah.
We have buyers. Buyers are buying houses. Our pendings are looking real good for a January.
Yeah.
However, like you just said, listing inventory is low, and it's low across the board. The whole area has less houses for sale. So if you're listening and you're thinking, boy, I was going to sell my house, this is a good thing for you. If you are planning to sell, if you're thinking about selling, if you're on the fence and you want to sell at some point ever, when listing inventory is low, supply and demand, folks, you're going to get more money for your house if you sell at that time.
Yep.
So if you've been thinking about selling, if you're one of those people thinking I'm going to sell in the spring, or I'm going to sell one day, or when my kid graduates, or whatever, you might want to consider doing it right now. And of course, shameless plug, one way that you can do that is to call us 330-717-2689 or visit us online at kellysoldit.com. Yep.
I said it a couple times already, and I think that's just going to be my line for the rest of the day. Yep.
So on kellysoldit.com, you can put it in. I have to do it. I'm like Sheldon on that TV show. Like, if you don't say it, I have to finish it. So you do want to go on there and request more information about selling a home, or request a free market analysis. We can come by and let you know what your home is worth. But because the market has low inventory, and because buyer market is high right now and healthy and people are buying, there are less homes for the buyers to choose from at this time.
Yep.
I'm not going to do a whole half an hour with you just saying yeah.
Oh, man. Okay. No, I agree 100%. Yep. Is that better?
No.
Okay. Sorry.
You throw me off,
I
and then I
know.
start
I
with the
make this hard.
You do.
I feel like you'd be so much more
T-Bone,
productive.
I'm going to do this show by myself next week. I'm just going to talk to me for a half an hour.
I think you'd be so much more productive without me.
I don't know. A little less lively, I suppose. It sounds like I'm reading from a book.
Yeah.
Yes, it's supposed to
I
be.
said that time.
Okay,
Because when you
fantastic.
read, you always say
You're great, Jim. You're swell. I like doing this with you.
I could love having a spouse. They
I don't
always
even know
do.
what we were talking about. How's the market? That's what we were
The
talking
market,
about.
correct. It's
I don't know
doing
where we
really
left
good.
off. It's good, period.
It's a strong, healthy market. Things are moving very well. Things are moving very good. Listing
Yep.
inventory is down, which is good for people
Yep.
trying to sell their homes. And that's what we specialize in. So I'm loving it. It's doing great.
Okay. Is that it? We can wrap up now?
Yep.
I can't. I need to go back to bed. All right, let's talk about interest rates. So one thing that
Ooh.
impacts the healthy market and that buyers are buying, I know we were going to talk about the inventory being low with buyers buying. So what happens with that, we're going to pause and go back to interest rates in a minute. But what happens with that is what we've been seeing since Christmas. You know, we had that little bit of a lull for the holiday season, but
Always.
as January picked back up, we're seeing houses that were on the market since the fall or late summer or early winter that, you know, we were seeing houses sell so quick, but some of the houses that sat a little bit longer that were on the market for 3, 4, 5, 6 months
Yep.
are selling right now. So those weren't the cream of the crop houses, or they would have gotten picked before. They were on the market at the same time as other houses. Other houses were picked by the buyers that were out there then. Those are some straggler houses that were sitting around that are now getting offers on them
Yeah.
because there's less for people to choose from. So those houses are getting bought up. So again, I have to say, if you've ever been thinking about buying a house or selling a house, this is the time to do it. It is truly going to be another seller's market.
Yeah.
We just keep chugging along with this great market. I love it.
I know this year is going to be, I mean, the amount of homes that we sold that last year, I am ecstatic to see what happens this year.
Mhm.
Like it's just been crazy, and like no one has ever sold that many homes in 1 year.
Yeah, fun stuff.
It's ridiculous.
Okay, so interest rates.
Okay.
How's that impact the market?
A little, a
A
lot.
lot.
Yeah.
A
A
good
bunch.
amount. Yeah.
No, it's a big thing. It's
Yeah.
a big part of the market is interest rates. Like if interest rates were 400%, well, you probably
Nobody
wouldn't,
would buy a
yeah, you probably wouldn't buy
house.
too many houses.
So with the interest rates right now, where are you at for just your general 30-year fixed?
You're looking about 3.8,
Okay.
give or take. I mean, obviously, talk to your loan officer because interest rates one of
Credit
those
and
things.
income and things like that will affect it. You can be a little bit different than what the normal is.
and
but-
they can
and they
literally
change daily, yeah.
every day.
And if you're getting a 20-year or a 15-year or a stated income or a rental property instead of just your traditional owner-occupied,
All that matters.
yeah, all of those affect the rate.
And that's why you should always talk to your loan officer because they're really gonna sit down and figure out what plan is best for you
Mm-hmm.
as an individual to kind of really get you on the right path and put you in a good comfort zone for yourself to move forward.
So with interest rates still being below 4% right now, that's another thing that's really impacting the market and having a positive effect where people are happy to be buying because money's still cheap.
Here's the thing, I think the market has been so good for so long that I think even if interest rates were higher, that our market would keep chugging along. I think it would still be doing good. Like it's just been that phenomenal, and our inventory is so low, you know,
Right.
not only market wide, but in most of the nation, that even higher interest rates wouldn't slow it down at this point.
Yeah.
So,
I know I'm not hugely a politically motivated person. I don't follow along too closely, but this being
no, you
January
don't
of
at all.
this being January 2020, being an election year, how do the election years historically affect the real estate market? Do you know the answer to that? I'm putting you on the spot a little bit.
Not off the top of my head. I know I can find it.
I think that, and this is just my thought, but I think that I've heard that
Someone who
it's
doesn't follow the
always been
market.
a positive real estate market on an election year.
Oh, really?
Yes, I could be making that up, but I think that's true. You can write it down, folks.
Don't
Kelly
write it
said.
down. Where do? I don't even want to ask you where you heard something like that.
I think that I have heard that.
I think so. I do know that the stock market pays close attention to elections and politicians and stuff like that. So I can foresee the stock market moving, just paying close to politicians. The stock market does affect interest rates for loans because that's where a lot of, your stock, where all the money goes or comes from is stock markets.
Right.
Like if you're like, hey, I want to invest, well, then there's these giant corporations that invest in mortgages. So, all that stuff is tied together. So I can see it having some type of effect, but for as far away apart that, politics is from home interest rates, everybody always has to live in a house. So even if you're like, hey, I finally can buy my first home, or hey, I want to upgrade to my next home, really, if the interest rate is 4% or 7%, is the payment difference going to be so significant enough that you're not going to buy a house?
What it takes out of the market is all of those I'd like to buy people. You
Right.
know, you have your people that I need to buy, I want to buy, I'd like to buy.
Yeah.
So it's kind of those people that are waiting for that perfect storm of a market. They don't move at that time.
Right.
The people that are having a marriage or birth or death or divorce or job transfer, those kind of people, your need to buy people are still going to do it regardless of what the interest rate is.
Right. Right.
But for a good market, for a strong market, a healthy market, when interest rates are down and buyers are buying and the economy is good and all that, you have all three of those groups of people buying houses.
Right. And I think that's one of the reasons why our market has been so good for the last, I think it really kicked into gear in 2013.
Yeah.
End of 2012, 2013.
We've been a nice, strong, multi-year trend of positive markets, which I love. It's like a dream come true.
Of course you love it. It gives you something
The
to
whole
do.
world loves it, Jim. Nobody's like, oh no, we're having a bad real estate year. We're having a good real estate year for us, So the whole world likes the nice real estate economy.
I want to know that one guy.
Big time buyer investors are probably the one guy because they want the market to go low so that they can buy a bunch of them.
Right.
So that then those are worth a bunch.
There is a guy out there.
Okay, that's the one guy. So I am thinking that it's looking like we're going to have an early spring market. I haven't looked at the weather. I'm not the groundhog, but I think that, normally we wait till Easter or something around then, mid-April, for our market to change and turn and it to be that busy spring market. Listings coming. Are you getting the hiccups?
I did have a hiccup. I don't know why.
Are you going to have more hiccups?
I hope not.
So we're normally waiting for that busy spring market for sellers will kind of pause and say, I'm going to sell in the spring, and wait until that time, and then they put their houses on the market, and then all of a sudden the buyers have had cabin fever for the winter, and then they decide, okay, I'm going to go look at houses, and it's like, weirdly, in April the phones start ringing more and the spring traffic picks up and all of this. But I'm thinking with the market being good right now, and with what we're seeing as far as pendings year to date, which I know it's only been 3 weeks, but I am predicting an early spring.
Yeah. So I've actually noticed that over the last couple of years is the good, like the peak season has been fluctuating and stretching over the last few years. So I can foresee it really if the market doesn't get too, if the weather doesn't get too stupid,
right?
Like when we go through weeks,
see what the groundhog says about the spring.
Right. Well, when you go through weeks and weeks of snow, like those first couple of weeks, people are like, no, I'm not leaving the house. I'm not doing anything. I'm gonna stay here where it's warm and I don't have to worry about the snow.
Yes.
So, and if we don't have a big, strong snowstorm this year, that could really kick the selling market into gear.
I think that the internet marketing has also helped with making that spring market earlier, because before, where you'd have to go to the open houses and go physically see the houses, you can start your early buying prep online, looking at the interior photos and kind of ruling in and out houses and neighborhoods and styles and price ranges. You can get your pre-approval without leaving your house, all those kind of things, so that when you are ready to be out there, in the weather, you're a little bit further into the searching.
Right.
Another thing that we have coming around very quickly is the Welcome Home Grant from the state of Ohio.
Oh.
So this is free money for down payment assistance for buyers. This is available through the local lending institutions, your banks, and they will have down payment assistance program. I have not heard 100% what the qualifications are for this year for 2020.
Because they change every year.
Yes, just slightly,
Okay.
and it's been around for years now. So I can get you some information on this, but if you are thinking on buying this spring, that money usually comes available March, April, and it's gone when it's gone. So you've got to be one of those first so many people in there. The whole state only gives out so much money. Each bank only gets, their slice of the pie.
Mm-hmm.
So what you need to do if you're thinking about buying in the spring, and if you think you'd be in an income bracket that would qualify, I believe it was somewhere around 60,000 last year
Yeah.
for household income for two people. Something like that. Don't quote me. I have to look for it.
Yeah, we would have to talk to a loan
Yes.
officer.
So
right.
I'll get the details on it. But if you're thinking, hey, I want to buy and I would like that free money, this is really the time to start looking. Because even though it's January right now, you can put an offer on with a 60 or a 90-day closing so that you can get into that program. You can have your offer sitting on the bank on March 1 when they have the money available. They could submit it to the state for you then, and you can close in March or April with that money. And if you don't have your house picked out today, then reality is you're not going to make the offer today. You're going to make the offer in February, and now maybe you only need that 45-day, which is a traditional closing.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it's time. It's time. It's coming.
It's exciting.
Yes,
So-
it is. You want to do our home picks of the week real quick before we?
Nope. You don't
No?
have time.
How
Time's
much
up.
time do we got?
You're
I'm
past
missing your
it.
fingers.
You're
Okay.
past it.
All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to do our home picks of the weeks, and we have some questions from a few of our listeners. If you are thinking about buying or selling a house this year, you want to give us a call at 330-717-2689 or visit us online at kellysoldit.com. Welcome back to Real Estate Radio with Kelly Warren and Associates, where we are in the studio this morning talking about the hot real estate market that the Mahoning Valley is in. And I can't tell you enough, folks, if you've been listening for the last 17 minutes or so, you would have heard us tell you how good the market is right now and how listing inventory is low. So if you've been thinking about selling your home and you're on the fence about when or how or why to do this, give us a call because we need the inventory right now. We have pre-approved buyers looking for houses who are buying up what's left on the market just because it's what's there, but we need homes to sell these people. So if you're one of those people owning a home, thinking about buying or selling, right now you want to give us a call at 330-717-2689 or visit us online at kellysoldit.com. We can come by and give you a free market analysis, which basically is like a 20-minute in-home visit where we give you an evaluation of what your home is worth, how long we think it would take to sell, what we do as far as marketing and advertising, and then we can talk pricing and timeline for you and what your needs are and where you'd go when your house does sell. So lots of good stuff. We are going to hop into our home picks of the week, and then we have some questions for listeners. If you are a listener and you have a real estate related question, you can send it over to us at askkelly@kellysoldit.com.
We got a lot of questions today.
Okay,
We might have to save some for next week.
that's fine.
We might run out.
I do answer all of the questions. I know you don't hear them online every week, but if you're thinking, that there's an influx of questions or not enough questions, I do reply to many of them just via email rather than on air.
Yeah. So if you have any, please send them over to askkelly@kellysoldit.com.
Yep.
I thought we were letting that go from the last one.
We don't let things go. This is 25 years of marriage
Yeah.
here. We don't let anything go, Jim.
Trust me, I know. Right?
Okay, give me your home pick.
Okay, so this is actually a really good deal. This one just came back on the market. This is 1580 Tibbetts Wick Road in Girard. I love that street.
Well, and I love that they're taking advantage of coming back on the market. They
Mhm.
were a house that was on the market that took some time off over the holidays for personal reasons or whatever was going on in their world. And let's put it back on the market right now because now people are buying.
Yeah. It's only listed at 125, and it is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, over 1,200 square feet. It's beautiful. Let's see.
split level, right?
Yep, it is split level, huge garage. Is that like 4 car garage? What is that?
And that's that perfect location where if you live, if you need to travel for work, or if you do anything between downtown Youngstown and downtown Warren, like that's an excellent area
Well,
for
that's
in either
one of the
direction.
reasons why I love that street. Is you can literally be everywhere in Trumbull, Mahoney County from there within 15
Yeah,
minutes.
it's easy.
Like, it's awesome. Like, if there's a YSU football game, a Warren Harding football game, like, you can get to both those stadiums probably within 15 minutes.
Okay,
Which is
so
awesome.
if you're a football coach, you want to call
Yeah,
at his house.
or a football player.
Or a football fan.
Right. Or if you like concerts, like downtown Warren and downtown Youngstown are having great venues and all kinds of different concerts and music. Like,
So this is a house for football and music lovers.
Oh, this house is awesome.
Give me the address and price again, please.
I forgot it. You yelled at me. You don't let things go. 1580 Tibbetswick Road in Girard, 125.
And that's Liberty Schools.
Correct.
Our next one is 5197 Fisher Crenth Road, and we talked to you a few weeks ago about a house on Fisher Crenth. This is a different one, right up the street. This one's listed at 224.9. It is Maplewood Schools, 3 bedrooms. This house has 2 fireplaces, 1,600 square feet on about 12 acres. It does have a 2-car attached garage. It's in that area that Handsome Jim loves, so if you're looking for a roommate, he might be available. And my favorite part of this is it's got the big wraparound front porch.
Ooh,
So, yeah, you can't go wrong there.
Here's the secret about Handsome Jim looking for a roommate. At this point, I think I've done enough over the last 25 years. Like, not good things, like bad things, that if you were going to get rid of me, you would have gotten rid of me by now.
This is true.
So, I think I'm okay.
One more thing about my listing.
Oh, sorry.
It has a barn with 2 stalls in it, and a fenced-in 1-acre pasture.
Nice.
So if you're an animal person, if you're a garage person, if you're a country person, this is the house for
If your son
you.
brings home a puppy.
Yes, he can go live in the barn with the puppy. 5197 Fisher Crenth Road in Farmdale. It's listed at 224.9, and you can find both of these properties online at kellysoda.com.
kellysoda.com.
If you'd like to view either property, you can give us a call at 330-717-2689 to schedule a showing. Jim, we got some questions from our listeners.
Is there any particular one you want me to take first?
I don't mind, whatever.
Okay. So
I'm gonna make you answer them. So which one do you want to take first?
Oh, for real?
We'll share.
Okay. Then I'm going to do this one. Nope, that's not it.
No, he's not gonna do that one, whoever you are.
All right, I'll just start at the top of the list. I recently acquired a previously foreclosed property, and there's no gas line. If I want to flip this quickly, can I just convert to an all-electric instead of waiting on a new gas line?
So they purchased a property that was foreclosed, and it doesn't have gas line into the house.
Correct.
Okay. So when you buy these foreclosure houses, sometimes you run into these issues. Maybe you're missing pipes, maybe you have electric service taken away from the house, or in this case, gas service taken away from the house. My understanding of this, and we haven't had much dealing with it directly, is that the gas company, after so long of a house being vacant, they take the lines off of the house because they don't want it to become a hazard.
I don't think they take the lines off the house, but I think they stop running gas to that house.
Okay.
I think they leave the current lines, but then before they let gas flow back through them, they do have to make sure that they're safe for, obviously gas to run through there.
So the gas company, from what I understand, does this almost like a new construction. Like they want to come back out and make sure that everything is intact, run new lines or meters or whatever they need to do to restart it. And with all that, there's some time involved. You have a waiting period for them to come out, and a waiting period for them to figure out how they're going to do it, and a waiting period for them to do it. Yep. And then you probably do need a furnace, and then a waiting period for that,
Yeah,
So the question from our listener is, can I just skip all that and put in an electric furnace, electric hot water tank, and that kind of stuff? And I would assume yes, although my advice to you is to have you call a contractor and check with them and see if that's something the house could hold. But from the real estate side, I don't think it's an issue from our consumer, from our buyer, if the house has an electric hot water tank instead of a gas one, or an electric furnace instead of a gas one. Do you?
I think it's just personal preference. Like you said, it's I've lived with both, of all of them, so I could see.
Some people do have a personal preference, like I like to cook with gas or
Well,
whatever.
Well,
you know.
so cooking, I've cooked with both, and I do prefer to cook with gas.
We don't cook much, but some buyers do.
Right, and when I do, the reason being is because the way that the gas heats the stove, and that's one of those things that I think is.
Do you think it's a big enough
Even
difference for this listener that they should wait however long for the gas company to come out, or do you think they should go ahead and explore the electric route because it might be quicker for them?
I guess it just depends on your thoughts of.
You know,
Like,
somebody
if you
in this
can
position,
wait.
if they've got a house that they're working on flipping to get back on the market, and we know that inventory is low right now, and they're gonna
Yeah.
make more money the sooner
Then
they get it on
I
the
would-
market.
I would go electric.
Okay, all right, so
Yeah.
there's our 2 cents, thanks for asking.
Yeah.
I would say check with a contractor, we do not know for sure if your house can
Right.
go electric,
So
but it's
there-
worth exploring.
There are things that the furnace guy will have to come in and look at and make sure
Yeah.
that it can hold. You might have to upgrade your electrical system.
Yep.
So it could go both ways, where that could take a handful of time too,
Maybe.
depending on your contractor, because then you gotta get an electrician.
Okay, what do you got for me next?
Oh, sorry, that one was fun. My mom is aging and needs to move in with me quickly. Would you just, what's it say? Give me an offer, to buy her house instead of waiting for a buyer.
As you know, we do offer a guaranteed sold program. We should talk about that more on the radio. We haven't mentioned that for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for the tip.
Thanks for
We
bringing
do
that up.
offer a program that says if your house does not sell, we will buy it. That's our guaranteed sale program. We do have a couple of minor stipulations on there, but it is a program that most people in most homes qualify to be a part of.
Right. It's an amazing program.
So with
I love
that program, with the guaranteed sale, you do have to list your house. Our thought behind that is, our intention is to sell it rather than buy it, so we need some time for it to be on the market to sell it. My suggestion to you though is, because also we do invest in real estate, we are buying properties, I'd be happy to come by, and I'll respond directly to your email, but I'd be happy to come by and give you my offer now if we were to just buy it and not put it on the market. So in essence, we'd give you an
Yes.
instant offer. This is
Yeah.
something that we'd buy the house now if you just want to avoid the hassle of showings or time. And then I'll also explore with you what the traditional market would look like and how we market and what the timeline would be
Right.
for waiting that out and possibly getting more money from a buyer right now because the market is good.
Right, so it's important for you to call us and have a real conversation with us about it, so, cool. The next one is, how do I sign up to use your moving truck? Oh, we have a moving truck
We
too.
do have a moving truck. And
We have all
somebody
kinds
just,
of cool stuff going on.
I bet my office saw this email because somebody just said the other day, there's not like a reserve button on our website for that, so that's something that we should explore. But right now, if you want to use the moving truck, all you need to do is give us a call at 330-717-2689. We do offer that as a free service for our clients. If you're buying or selling from us, we do have a 15-foot box truck that you can use for free to move.
That's cool.
Yeah, Handsome
like it.
Jim does not move boxes, so you gotta supply your own manpower on that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't do a lot of physical labor.
Yeah, I know. I've been married to you for a long time.
You're like, hey, can you go sweep up those leaves? I'm sorry, I have kids for that. Where's
You
my-
know what though, if you were gonna have your
Where's my
friends and
teenager?
family help you move, rather than getting a U-Haul or something like that, it's a nice added benefit of the free truck. So if you've got your own labor,
Yeah.
the free truck is a nice plus.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's cool. It's huge too.
Yes,
I've driven it. That thing is massive.
I haven't really driven it.
Oh, thank goodness. You're not the best driver.
All right, folks, if you have real estate related questions, I'm going to go ahead and answer the rest of these via email for sake of time. But if you do have questions, make sure that you send them over to us. Ask Kelly at kellysolda.com. We love hearing your thoughts and your questions and being able to be a part of your market decisions. If you are thinking about buying or especially selling a house right now, you definitely want to give us a call or a text at 330-717-2689 or visit us online at kellysolda.com to get some of those questions answered for you. Thanks for tuning in, and we look forward to speaking with you again next week.